MFA updates.
Hello, good morning. สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to MFA Update, a weekly program that features Thailand's foreign affairs and activities. You're here with me, Nishika Phumi.Today we'll be talking with Kun Natapanu Nopakun, Deputy Director General of the Department of Information and Deputy Spokesperson at Ministry of Foreign Affairs about the visit of the U.S. Secretary of State and Thailand's position.
The foreign affairs that matter. Special guests from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is the MFA Updates.
Hello, Kun Natapanu. Welcome back to the program.Today, we would like to talk about the U.S. Secretary of State visit to Thailand. So could you tell us what are the objectives of the Honorable Antony Blinken, U.S. Secretary of State, recent visit to Thailand from July 9th to 10th, please?
Yes, this is his first official visit to Thailand as guest of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs after assuming the position in January last year. And the last meeting between the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Don Pramudwinai and the U.S. Secretary of State took place on the 12th of May 2022 during the ASEAN-U.S. Special Summit in Washington, D.C. So for this trip on the 10th of July 2020, Deputy Prime Minister Don held a bilateral meeting and hosted a luncheon in honor of the Secretary of State Antony Blinken at the Foreign Ministry. Later, he led the U.S. Secretary of State to pay a courtesy call on the Prime Minister at the Government House in the afternoon. So as for the objectives of the visit, it actually reaffirms the long-standing alliance and strategic partnership between Thailand and the United States, providing opportunities to enhance relations and advancing the multifaceted cooperation based on shared values and common interests.
Thank you very much. And could you share with us the topics of discussions during the meeting with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs?
Yes, during the bilateral meeting, both sides emphasized the importance of the long-standing alliance, as I mentioned. Of course, it's mutually beneficial and contributes to the interests of the region as a whole. As for what they discussed, it was focused on promoting various areas of cooperation, such as economic engagement in terms of the supply chain, resilience, so it's about trade and commerce, and also addressing issues like climate change, about suppression of human trafficking, as well as global health issues, of course, with the COVID pandemic, and strengthening also the engagement between the two countries because we are celebrating the 190th anniversary of our diplomatic relations next year. Also, both sides discussed important regional and global issues like the situations in Ukraine, in Myanmar, and the Korean Peninsula, and also the existing mechanisms like the ASEAN framework, ASEAN-U.S. cooperation, and the Indo-Pacific economic framework as well, which was initiated by the United States, as well as, of course, APEC, because Thailand will be host of APEC this year, and the United States will actually be host of APEC next year in 2023 after Thailand. So they discussed about the transition between the host economy years as well. The Deputy Prime Minister and Secretary of State Blinken also signed two outcome documents. The first is the Thailand-U.S. Communique on strategic alliance and partnership. Of course, this will drive the relationship deeper. It includes various issues as a strategic alliance. Also, what was signed, another document signed was the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding on the promotion of supply chain resilience, which aims to promote the collaboration and strengthen the supply chain, of course, preventing any disruptions to the trade and production and transportation of critical industries. This will also help enhance trade and investment between the two countries and especially promote U.S. investment in Thailand in the targeted industries. The targeted industries, of course, it would include industries such as EV, electric vehicles, pharmaceuticals, and other industries that are within the framework of the BCG economy model or the biocircular green economy model.
Thank you very much. There were indeed many things that were discussed during this visit. And finally, as we know that the tensions between the U.S. and China have remained for some time, and some media say that the U.S. as well as China intend to further strengthen their influence in Southeast Asian countries or ASEAN countries. So Foreign Minister Wang Yi of China and the State Secretary Antony Blinken, both of their visits to Thailand are good examples. So how do you see Thailand's position amidst this U.S.-China tension?
Yes, taking into account the rapidly changing situation around the world, of course, and people, of course, use the word competition between two superpowers, China and the U.S. Mm-hmm. So, of course, their relationship with countries would be an important topic. For Thailand, we seek to maintain a balanced foreign policy. Of course, this is a very important issue for Thailand. So, as you can see, in the past weeks, we had both the visits of the foreign ministers of China and the foreign minister of the U.S. One after the other, which is, of course, we see it as a great opportunity for Thailand to play a proactive role and reiterating our stance in carrying out a balanced foreign policy with these two countries, and of course maintaining interests of all countries and the security and stability of Thailand and the Southeast Asian region as well. Mm-hmm. So in summary, we maintain friendly relations with all countries, and we regard both the U.S. and China as friends and allies. The relationship with China and the relationship with the U.S. have both been friendly and very many exchanges of visits and strong ties. Of course, Thailand and China with centuries-old cultural and people-to-people ties. And the U.S., of course, almost 200 years, 190 years of close relations in terms of exchanges, businesses, students as well. So that's why we welcomed both foreign ministers Wang Yi of China and the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in the past weeks. So our position is actually we are firm in protecting our national interests, and we will continue to be working well and closely and friendly with all countries. We've not only been enjoying close ties with China and the U.S., but we've also been enjoying close ties with Japan, the EU, India, and many, many countries in all levels, at the government, private sector level, the civil society, as well as the people-to-people level.
Thank you so much, Kun Natapanu, for the information and for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Was Kun Natapanu Nopakun, Deputy Director General of the Department of Information and Deputy Spokesperson at Ministry of Foreign Affairs. To listen to our previous episodes of the MFA Update, please visit the YouTube channel MFA Thailand as well as our Facebook page FM88 Radio Thailand English. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. I am Nishaka Phumi. สวัสดีค่ะ.
MFA Updates